it back. Here's the truth: most people won't tell you being too available kills your value. The more you chase, the less people respect you. The louder you try to be heard, the easier you're ignored. Influence isn't about being everywhere. It's about showing up so intentionally that your absence is noticed. Today, I'm going to show you why stepping back isn't weakness. It's power back, and how distance can make people respect you more than constant presence ever will. If you're ready to stop being taken for granted, listen closely. Too much availability dilutes your impact back, and most people don't even realize it. When you are constantly around, constantly saying yes, and constantly responding, people start to expect your energy, your time, and your attention as if they are owed back. This expectation lowers the perceived value of what you offer. Respect isn't something handed out because you exist. It's earned when your presence matters. Think about the people you notice the most in your life. They are rarely those who are always available. They are the ones whose appearances leave a mark. Their words carry weight because they are rare, not routine. Your presence should feel like an event, not background noise. People remember impact, not constant familiarity. Stepping back doesn't mean you disappear or disengage. It means you choose when and how to show up. Intentional absence is a form of power. It gives you control over how others perceive your worth. When your presence is predictable, your influence diminishes. People start taking your efforts for granted. They assume you will always be there to fix, explain, or support. But the truth is, your energy is finite. Every second you spend overextending yourself is a second you dilute your significance. Distance creates a gap where respect can grow, where your value becomes visible. People begin to notice what they miss when you are not immediately accessible. Impact is about quality, not quantity. Showing up for everything and everyone might make you liked, but it rarely commands respect. Get back. Influence grows when your actions are strategic, when you decide which moments are worth your time. Your attention should be treated like currency. Spend it recklessly and it loses value. Spend it wisely back, and it multiplies your impact. This principle applies to relationships, business, and personal growth. When you step back, you give space for others to reflect on your contributions. Back, they realize your presence is not accidental. It is deliberate, thoughtful, and meaningful. Absence makes the heart and the mind appreciate your presence more fully. Too many people confuse visibility with value. Being everywhere all the time does not increase significance, it dilutes it. Visibility without intention creates familiarity without admiration. People stop noticing someone who is always there because predictability breeds indifference. But when your appearances are measured, when your input is strategic, people lean in to hear you back. Your words carry weight because they are not common. They become signals of something important. Think of your own life, whose opinions or actions make the biggest difference to you. Back. Rarely are they the ones you see daily. More often, they are people whose presence and contributions feel exceptional. Distance teaches people to recognize your worth without you needing to demand it. When you are always available, you set the standard that your time has no limit. That is the fastest way to erode respect. Setting space allows others to adjust to your value rather than expecting it automatically. This is not about arrogance or withdrawal. It is about being intentional. Intentional absence communicates confidence. It tells people that you are busy building, growing, and prioritizing what truly matters. It allows your energy to be reserved for moments that truly deserve it. The people who matter will notice, reflect, and respond in alignment with the respect you command. Your energy should never be treated as a default option. It is a resource that fuels creation, impact, and influence. When you spread yourself too thin, your contributions lose potency. Every interaction, every meeting, every conversation consumes energy. If you give indiscriminately, your presence becomes ordinary. But when you step back and choose carefully where to invest yourself, your involvement becomes extraordinary. People feel your absence as acutely as they feel your presence. That feeling is respect taking root. Distance allows for reflection, for clarity, and for renewed energy. It transforms ordinary presence into strategic influence that commands attention. Many underestimate the subtle psychology of absence. Humans naturally appreciate what they don't always get. Rarity amplifies significance. When you withdraw from constant availability, you create space for others to understand your value. You allow them to reflect on what it means when you contribute, when you speak, back when you act. It forces them to adjust their perception and, in turn, their behavior. Absence without explanation, presence with impact. That is how influence is built. People begin to see you as a person of worth, not obligation. They start to respect your time because they realize it is finite, valuable, and strategically deployed. Strategic distance is not passive. It is deliberate. It is a conscious decision to prioritize impact over indulgence, significance over familiarity. When you step back, you are not avoiding responsibility. You are amplifying your presence. You allow your work, words, back, and actions to resonate without dilution. People notice effort, but they respect intention. Intentional stepping back is a form of leadership, of self-respect, and a mastery over your own life. Back, every interaction becomes meaningful because you have decided which interactions are worthy. Influence grows when scarcity meets substance, when absence meets relevance. That is how respect is built, not begged for. Remember that respect is never owed. It is earned through deliberate choices, calculated presence, and strategic absence. People respect what they must work to understand and engage with. When you constantly cater, you reduce yourself to a convenience. Distance changes that dynamic. It transforms your energy into something sought after, appreciated, and acknowledged. It signals that you are intentional, purposeful, and confident in your own value. The people who respect you will respond positively. Those who do not, distance will reveal them quickly. This is the filter that separates admiration from entitlement. Ultimately, your presence should feel like gravity, not background noise. When you show up, it should matter. Your absence should provoke thought, not anxiety. Strategic distance is not about withdrawal. It is about amplifying your significance. It allows others to see what they are missing and reassess their relationship with your energy. Your value is reinforced when you are not taken for granted. Presence is earned through action, reflection, and intentionality. By stepping back, you create a dynamic where your influence is undeniable. Your worth is recognized and respect becomes the default response. Respect is born from boundaries, and yet most people are terrified of setting them. They confuse being liked with being respected and assume that saying yes to everything is the only way to maintain relationships. The truth is the opposite. Unlimited availability erodes influence. Boundaries are not walls, they are signals of self-worth. They show people what you value and what you will not tolerate. When you stop over-explaining, over-apologizing, and over-extending, you create clarity. People respect what is measured, controlled, and deliberate. Boundaries force others to meet you on your terms, not theirs. They separate the people who truly belong from the ones who take advantage. Without boundaries, respect is weak, fleeting, and conditional. Stepping back is not withdrawal, it is strategy. It teaches others how to treat you without the need for confrontation. When you define your limits clearly, you communicate your value without words. Most people will test boundaries because they have been conditioned to push, but this is exactly why boundaries are powerful. They act like magnets. The right people are drawn to your discipline while the wrong ones are repelled. By prioritizing your time, energy, and attention, you show the world that you operate with purpose. Boundaries create structure and chaos, and structure breeds respect. Every boundary you enforce is a lesson in self-worth. People start adjusting their behavior to align with your expectations. Boundaries also clarify relationship. Distance filters the noise from those who do not belong in your life. People who are unwilling to honor your limits reveal their priorities without you saying a word. Stepping back allows reflection, not resentment. But it creates a natural evaluation system, separating energy drains from genuine allies. Those who truly value you will rise to meet the standards you set. Those who do not will naturally fall away, revealing who is truly aligned with your growth. Respect grows when interactions are intentional, not forced. Every time you enforce a boundary, you are teaching respect through action. Influence is stronger when it is earned, not assumed. Many people underestimate the subtle power of saying no. A simple refusal is not rejection. It is a declaration of value. Saying no strategically reserves your energy for what matters most. It prevents dilution of effort and protects the quality of your work, relationships, and personal growth. Without boundaries, people confuse your availability for weakness. With boundaries, every yes carries weight. Every decision becomes intentional. Boundaries are not limitations, they are leverage. The people who respect you will understand and even admire your discipline. Those who don't will self-select out of your life, leaving space for what is meaningful. Boundaries also create consistency and respect. People are more likely to honor someone who has clearly defined standards. Chaos and ambiguity erode authority and influence. When you consistently enforce limits, people adjust their expectations. They learn that your time is valuable and that your energy is a resource, not a convenience. This creates alignment without confrontation. Boundaries allow you to lead by example, demonstrating the value of discipline and self-respect. People naturally gravitate toward those who are consistent, not those who bend under pressure. When you enforce limits strategically, you create a culture of respect around yourself. Others mirror what you model. Distance amplifies the power of boundaries. It gives space for people to reflect on what they've been taking for granted. When you stop explaining, over-justifying, or overextending, your absence becomes a teacher. People realize what they miss and your worth becomes clear. Boundaries create natural scarcity, and scarcity creates value. Every interaction is no longer automatic. It is earned. Respect thrives in environments where boundaries are visible and enforced. People are drawn to clarity because it eliminates confusion. Strategic distance combined with firm limits is the most effective tool to cultivate influence and admiration. Boundaries also protect your mental and emotional health. Without them, people dictate your schedule, your energy, and even your mood. Overcommitment breeds resentment, frustration, and burnout. When you step back and enforce limits, you reclaim control. You decide where your attention goes, who deserves your energy, and how your time is spent. People begin to see that your life is intentional, structured, and purposeful. This self-respect signals that others must rise to meet your standards or step aside. Boundaries are a declaration that you will not be manipulated, overextended, or taken for granted. Respect is a byproduct of self-respect. Most people fear confrontation, but boundaries minimize it. Clear limits prevent situations from escalating because expectations are defined up front. When people know your limits, they know how to engage with you. Confusion and assumption are the fastest routes to disrespect. Boundaries remove ambiguity, creating a predictable framework that people can understand and follow. Enforcing boundaries is not about anger or control. It is about clarity and intention. People learn through repetition and consistency. Over time, boundaries become a silent but powerful teacher of respect. Strategic distance is not coldness, it is guidance. Boundaries also create leverage in professional and personal interactions. When people know that your time and energy are limited, they approach you with intention. Every conversation, meeting, or engagement becomes meaningful because your involvement is not automatic. This transforms relationships from transactional to intentional. People are more likely to value input, honor agreements, and respect decisions when boundaries are enforced consistently. Stepping back strategically ensures that your presence is never undervalued. Influence grows when people must actively earn access to your time and attention. Boundaries amplify authority, control, and respect simultaneously. Respect is never passive. It is cultivated through intentional choices and disciplined enforcement. Boundaries are the fastest, most reliable path to cultivating respect in every area of life. They protect your time, energy, and focus while teaching others how to engage with you appropriately. Distance paired with consistent limits allows people to reflect on your worth. It creates clarity in relationships, amplifies influence, and filters out distraction. The people who truly respect you will rise to meet your standards, while those who don't will naturally self-select out. Boundaries are not a punishment, they are a declaration of value. Ultimately, boundaries are your secret weapon. They communicate worth without words, influence without aggression, and respect without demand. They create space for reflection, growth, and intentional engagement. Stepping back strategically ensures that your energy is spent on what matters, not on those who fail to honor it. People mirror what they see. If you enforce limits, they learn to value your presence. If you overextend, they take it for granted. Boundaries are the foundation of respect, influence, and personal power. Distance is not rejection, it is strategy, discipline, and leadership. Ironically, the quieter you become, the louder your presence feels. People often mistake constant talking, constant action, and constant availability for strength. In reality, overexposure dulls impact. When you step back, you allow space for reflection, and that reflection magnifies your influence. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Controlled absence forces others to notice your value. People begin to appreciate what is not constantly in front of them. Your voice gains weight when it is heard, not when it is drowned out. Strategic distance creates tension, attention, and anticipation. Influence is born when scarcity meets substance. Absence allows people to reassess your worth. Most interactions are taken for granted when they are abundant. The moment you pull back, people notice patterns they previously ignored. They start remembering what you contributed, how you acted, and what your presence meant. This reflection builds respect naturally, without confrontation or argument. When you constantly chase attention, you dilute the significance of your actions. Stepping back creates a vacuum that others feel compelled to fill with recognition. It is a natural psychological response. People mirror the effort they perceive. When you withdraw strategically, it forces them to meet you halfway. Distance amplifies every word you speak and every action you take. When your presence is not guaranteed, it becomes a resource of value. People learn to prioritize, to listen, and to honor the moments you choose to engage. Overexposure creates noise, while absence creates resonance. Every interaction becomes purposeful, every word intentional. The less predictable your availability, the more impact you carry. People begin to understand that your energy is finite and must be respected. Strategic distance allows for reflection, thought, and recalibration. It forces others to value contribution over convenience. Influence is not quantity, it is precision applied with consistency. Stepping back is a form of empowerment. It shifts the dynamic from obligation to choice. People who assume your presence are less likely to value it. When you become intentional with your engagement, others adjust their expectations. They recognize that access to your time, energy, and insight is earned back, not automatic. This is not manipulation, it is natural alignment. Absence creates clarity in relationships and interactions. It defines priorities without drama or confrontation. Your influence grows because it is no longer taken for granted. People start to lean into the moments you are available, understanding their significance. Quiet influence is more sustainable than constant noise. People who shout, push, or over-explain are often forgotten because their presence becomes predictable. Controlled absence demands attention. When you step back, you reclaim control over your time and energy. Your words carry authority because they are rare and measured. People notice the effort and thought behind your actions rather than expecting them as a default. This is how leaders are remembered, how influence persists, and how respect is earned. Distance is not passive, it is a calculated tool. It allows you to create impact without expending unnecessary energy. Every withdrawal is a setup for resonance. Reflection breeds appreciation. When people are given space to process your absence, they evaluate their own behavior. They begin to notice the subtle contributions, the guidance, and the effort you put in. Stepping back transforms perception from assumption to recognition. People start to value what they previously overlooked. Absence teaches them that your presence is not infinite, and finite resources are always respected. Strategic distance allows you to influence thought without verbal persuasion. It elevates your actions because they are intentional and meaningful. Influence grows naturally when people must reflect to appreciate. Strategic absence also protects your energy and mental clarity. When you are constantly engaged, you absorb other people's priorities, chaos, and distractions. Distance creates space for thought, planning, and growth. It ensures that your engagement is meaningful rather than reactive. Back. People begin to respect the thought behind your actions rather than the frequency. Your influence is multiplied because it is directed and intentional. Absence allows you to act with purpose, rather than out of habit or pressure. Controlled distance strengthens both your mental resilience and your authority. It ensures that every presence is impactful and every word has weight. Back. People often underestimate the subtle power of stepping back. It forces accountability in others. When your energy is not constantly available, people adjust their behavior to match the respect you demand. They take ownership of their actions and interactions because the safety net of your constant presence is gone. Strategic distance creates clarity in relationships. It separates genuine interest from entitlement. Commitment from assumption. Influence grows because access is no longer automatic. People understand that engagement with you carries value. Your absence becomes a catalyst for reflection, growth, and alignment. Stepping back also sharpens your focus. When you are not overextended, you can invest your energy in high impact areas. Strategic distance ensures that you allocate attention only where it is most valuable. People notice where your priorities lie and respect your choices. It eliminates noise and distraction, leaving only meaningful engagement. Every interaction becomes deliberate, measured, and impactful. Influence is strengthened because your energy is no longer diluted. Absence is a tool for amplification, not avoidance. By stepping back, you highlight the moments that truly matter and the contributions that define your presence. Ultimately, the quieter you become, the more people listen. Strategic absence amplifies influence, respect, and authority. Controlled distance allows others to reflect on your value, to notice what was previously overlooked, and to adjust their behavior. Every withdrawal is a lesson in significance. Every presence becomes a deliberate act of influence. People mirror the intentionality they see, and your boundaries create natural respect. Absence is not weakness, it is power. It ensures that your engagement is meaningful, your contributions are appreciated, and your influence is undeniable. Every step back strategically sets the stage for impact. The easiest way to demand respect is to model it for yourself. If you do not value your time, energy, and priorities, no one else will. Stepping back is an act of self-respect, a declaration that you refuse to settle for casual treatment. People mirror what they see. If you overextend, they undervalue you. If you enforce boundaries, that they rise to meet them. Your presence becomes intentional, deliberate, and significant. Respect is not demanded through arguments, it is inspired through action. Every decision you make communicates your value. Every choice to step back is a signal that your energy is finite and precious. By valuing yourself, you set the standard for how others treat you. Stepping back is not abandonment, it is empowerment. It teaches others that your involvement is earned, not automatic. People naturally adjust their behavior when they realize that access to your time and energy is limited. Strategic distance amplifies your presence because it forces reflection and acknowledgement. When your actions are deliberate, they resonate far beyond the immediate moment. Absence highlights significance. People learn that you operate with intention, not obligation. By protecting your space, you create a culture of respect around yourself. Every interaction becomes meaningful because it is chosen, not default. This is how influence and admiration are cultivated authentically. Distance is also a filter, a tool to reveal intentions. Those who respect you will adapt, rise to meet your standards, and value your contributions. Those who do not respect you will naturally self-select out of your life. Stepping back creates clarity in relationships, separating energy drains from genuine allies. It shows who is aligned with your vision and who is misaligned with your values. Boundaries create natural scarcity, and scarcity breeds respect. People begin to notice what they take for granted. Your influence grows because your presence is not assumed. Every withdrawal is a test that reveals priorities, intentions, and commitment. Respect flourishes when engagement is intentional and thoughtful. The act of stepping back also empowers decision-making. When you remove yourself from constant availability, you gain mental clarity and focus. You see relationships, responsibilities, and opportunities more objectively. Distance allows for assessment of what truly deserves your attention. It prevents overcommitment and preserves energy for high-impact contributions. People notice when decisions are intentional rather than reactive. They begin to respect the thought, planning, and discipline behind your actions. Controlled distance transforms your presence into influence, not obligation. Every choice to step back strengthens authority and demonstrates self-mastery. This is how respect is cultivated over time. Respect thrives in environments of intentional engagement. When people know that your time is limited, they value every interaction. Boundaries ensure that your energy is not wasted on trivialities or those who do not appreciate it. Stepping back creates anticipation and reverence. People learn that your contributions are meaningful, not automatic. Distance amplifies significance. It allows others to reflect on what they gain when you participate and what they lose when you do not. Influence is magnified because it is earned through scarcity and intentionality. Every measured engagement reinforces your worth. Respect becomes an outcome of how you protect and allocate your presence. Self-respect also communicates authority without confrontation. Back. People instinctively recognize those who honor themselves. When you step back strategically, you teach others to honor your time, energy, and boundaries. This reduces conflict and clarifies expectations. Back. Boundaries and distance prevent entitlement from taking root. They demonstrate that your engagement is a privilege, not a guarantee. By modeling self-respect, you inspire others to elevate their behavior. Every choice to withdraw is a lesson in significance and influence. Respect becomes automatic because it is rooted in the consistent demonstration of value. Influence is no longer requested, it is granted naturally. Distance allows reflection on both sides. People begin to consider how they contribute to your life and how they respond to your boundaries. This reflection fosters accountability and encourages mutual respect. Get back. Stepping back gives you the opportunity to assess alignment with your vision and priorities. It also gives others the chance to recognize their own behaviors and adjust accordingly. Back. A strategic absence ensures that engagement is intentional, meaningful, and reciprocal. Influence is strengthened when people actively choose to respect you. The relationships that endure are those built on understanding, recognition, and value. Distance clarifies connection, intention, and commitment. This is how respect and influence grow simultaneously. Strategic stepping back also reinforces personal growth. Back, when you prioritize yourself, your goals, and your energy, you create space for improvement and development. People notice when you are disciplined, intentional, and deliberate in how you allocate attention. Your presence becomes synonymous with impact. They begin to understand that respecting your boundaries is not optional, it is essential. Distance highlights the value of your contributions. Back. Influence grows because people learn that your involvement matters. Respect is earned through consistent demonstration of worth and intentional action. By stepping back, you model the principles that generate admiration and authority. The balance of presence and absence is the cornerstone of influence. Being everywhere at once dilutes your impact. Back, being strategic with your engagement amplifies it. People learn to respect those who operate with intention, not obligation. Stepping back communicates that your energy is precious and your contributions are meaningful. Back. Boundaries protect both your influence and your peace. Distance magnifies significance by forcing reflection and evaluation. Every interaction is no longer assumed, it is recognized. Influence thrives where presence is valued and absence teaches lessons. Respect is the natural consequence of deliberate and controlled engagement. Ultimately, stepping back is a declaration of self-worth that inspires others to respond in kind. It teaches boundaries, fosters reflection, and cultivates influence without force. People learn to value your presence because they understand its scarcity and significance. Every withdrawal reinforces authority. Every engagement demonstrates intentionality. Distance creates clarity, protects your energy, and amplifies your impact. Respect is earned by modeling self-value and refusing to allow entitlement to dictate your engagement. Stepping back is not rejection. It is leadership, strategy, back and empowerment. By protecting yourself first, you ensure that respect follows, influence grows, and relationships thrive in alignment with your standards. This is how true admiration is cultivated and sustained.